Hi, welcome to this week's episode of the Your Practice Mastered podcast. My name is Richard James, and today we're going to make your 2026. Don't get lost, we're not going to set goals, but we are going to do something different for you today that you likely have not done before. So stick with me, I promise you're going to want to be where we get at the end because it's going to be valuable for you to set your 2026 off the right way. Now, here's what I know. After working with law firms for over 15 years, I know that many of you are burnt out. Maybe you're sick and tired of being sick and tired. You're either in level 1 law firm ownership where there's just you and a handful of employees and you're trying to keep it small, keep it all. And some of you haven't figured out how to do that and you're still working 90 hours a week. Some of you are in level 2. You've decided to cross the chasm out of level 1 and try to get to the CEO level. In order to do that, you got to go through level 2, which is what we call hell, which is where there's not enough money to hire people to replace you directly. So you're still doing some of the work and you're leading the team and you're trying to maintain the business. And it's just really hectic. And that's why I say running a law firm is really, really hard. But maybe some of you are level 3, like you've reached the $3 million mark, but you're still not profitable. And by the way, in level 1, you should be at least 40% profitable. Level 2 and above, you should be 30% profitable or better, which means total owner's benefit. And I hear this all the time that we're just not there. And so if that's you, if you're feeling a little burned out, if you're feeling a little crispy at the edges and you're wondering, why do I keep doing what I'm doing? Then I think this message is for you. Hey, look, if you'd like to learn more about what we do around here and how to access free information, click on the link below. We have all sorts of free resources for you to access there. There's information. There's a way for you to schedule a call if you really need to do that. All sorts of tools for you to access. Just click on the link below. Happy to get you started. My son bought half the company. I could be playing more golf than, running a business. But why do I keep doing it? And I'm at this stage where I'm asking these questions. Why am I doing what I do? And this exercise helps. So we're going to look at 3 fundamental things: the future, the past, and the present. And we're going to take a piece of paper with 1 through 10 numbers, somewhat evenly spaced. And so basically each of these numbers represents 10 years. So 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, you get it, right? Which means that this piece of paper represents 100 years. And so the first thing we're going to look into is the future. And we're going to ask ourselves this question: when do we think we're going to die? I don't know about you, but based on family history, kind of what's going on in the world, the chances are pretty good. The life I hope to live is right about 89. So I'm going to tear off that little section there, okay? So that's the life that I'm never going to get to live, that little section right there. Then I'm going to look and go, okay, how long have I lived so far? Well, I'm 55. So right between the 5 and the 6, I'm going to go to the past, and I'm going to tear off the past. And then with what I have here, I'm going to try to fold this into thirds, and then I'm going to chop off 1/3. Why? Well, because that's the time about which I sleep, about 8 hours a day, give or take. That means this is the time I have left. And so in 2026, I want you to think about, with the time that you have left, what are you not going to do anymore? What are you going to stop doing? What is something that is a complete waste of your time, that is not bringing you any value, that you're going to stop doing? I made a vow I'm going to stop being angry. That's done. I'm done. I got to figure out how to not have that happen anymore. And then the second question is, what am I not going to wait for anymore? This is different for everybody. But for me, I'm not going to wait to let this business grow. So I'll be honest, I'm not going to wait to take the governor off of my machine, right? The growth machine, I've had a governor on it because I've kind of wanted to keep it small and keep it all, because that's the kind of business I wanted to run. But now that my son is here and he wants to grow, and we've made it through a couple of years and everything's been good and solid and cash flow is right, emergency cash is where it needs to be, we're going to take the governor off and we're going to let it go. I'm going to live my best life inside of work. Now, I'm still going to keep some balance. I don't want to work 12 hours a day, and I still like golfing on Fridays, but I'm good. When I'm working, I'm going to work. And when I'm done with work, I expect to be tired. And that's just it. Now, I want you to do that same thing, because this is all we have left. This is it. Whatever your piece of paper is, that's all you have left to live on the planet, period. So why would you spend one more moment doing something that you know isn't good for you one way or the other? And why would you wait to do the thing you really want to do? But for whatever reason, you put governors on it or whatever, or your limiting beliefs or whatever you want to talk about. I don't know why you'd want to do that, but when I recognized this, I was like, yep, I'm not wasting any more time. Now, I couple this with what I call the lottery experience. So the question is, are you doing the right thing? So here's what I know. In a room full of law firm owners, I asked this question. How many of you in this room went to law school to be a lawyer with the sole purpose of opening a law firm to become wealthy? One hand went up. One. Now, if you're that person, great. That's fantastic. Good. You knew you were going to be an entrepreneur and you chose law. That's rare. Normally, I find lawyers go to law school for some other reason. They become lawyers for some other reason. They choose their practice area for some other driving force. And so I suspect that's still alive and well in you. But maybe it's gotten beat up a little bit by the practice of law, the business of law. And I get that. And so we do have to run a little secondary experiment. It's called the lottery test. So not long ago, a week ago or whatever, somebody in Georgia won $990 some odd million in the Mega Millions lottery. And so that person's life, they will not be able to spend that much money. Even if they take 50% in taxes, they're not going to be able to spend that much money. And so let's imagine for a second that you were that person. And by the way, you got to play to win, so you better buy a ticket the next time if you want a chance to win. But anyway, let's assume you won. Great. Now, I want you to write down all the things you would do with that money. And let's say you did it all and it took you about 5 years and you bought everything, did everything, went everything, ate every meal, anything you could imagine you did. 5 years, it's done. And now you're still going to do something. What is it you're going to do? And if the answer isn't law and it's something else, well, I would challenge you, is there some way for you to do that something else inside of your practice right now? Like I had one lawyer tell me they wanted to be a teacher and said that I would go teach. I go, well, why don't you just start teaching in your practice now? What do you mean? I go, why don't you teach everybody else how to do in your practice to be better at their jobs? Teach the community how to go about doing what you need them to do. Teach now. And so I don't know what you want to do, but if it's not law, the question is, can you do it inside of your practice right now? And if you can't, then I got to wonder, why the hell are you doing what you're doing? Like, why are you still here? If law was the answer, consulting is the answer for me, I would still do this. The work I do would be the same. I'd still work with law firm owners the same way that I do right now. It's what I want to do. It's what I want to do the rest of my life. And I want to do it in a way that I can pass it on to others, and I want to teach it. There are things I don't want to do inside my business, and I'm trying to avoid those things now. But the things that I do want to do, I want to keep doing more of. And so my challenge to you is, once you understand what's left, write down what you're going to stop doing that's killing you. Whatever that means, physically, mentally, emotionally, business-wise, whatever. And what are you going to start doing that you've been putting off, that you've been delaying or procrastinating, that you know you got to get around to, whether it be physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, or business or financial or whatever. One thing you're going to stop and one thing you're going to start in 2026, and let that be your mantra for 2026. And then take the lottery test and figure out what you want to be doing. Because here's what I will tell you. It ain't about money. And that's the whole point. Some of you are going, well, Rich, I'd really like to find out for myself. Fine. I have made it, and I've lost it all, and we've made it back again. And I will tell you that at no point in this journey has money or things made me happy. Joy is an inside job, me and my Creator and my faith. I'm not telling you what you should believe, but I believe my joy comes from God. And He's not all that interested in all of this other stuff. And so I got to figure out how to derive joy from the things that I do. And one of the fastest way to do that is to identify the things you don't want to do and eliminate those things. And so most of the reasons why I'm disciplined the way that I am is because things happen to me that don't make me happy. And when I apply discipline, I remove those things that don't make me happy. Consequently, I'm more happy. In your business, you really got to figure out what you want to be doing with yourself, and then get busy doing it, or get busy stopping doing the things that are getting in your way. I hope this was a gift to you. It was a gift to me when somebody went through this exercise with me. I hope we start kicking off 2026 in an excellent way. I'm honored that you are willing to take this journey with me on a weekly basis. Thank you for being a subscriber, a listener. If you want to comment, by all means, let's go out and build 2026 better. One not to do and one to do this year, so that we can move in the right direction and move away from the wrong direction. Hey, look, if you'd like to learn more about what we do around here and how to access free information, click on the link below. We have all sorts of free resources for you to access there. There's information. There's a way for you to schedule a call if you really need to do that. All sorts of tools for you to access. Just click on the link below. Happy to get you started.